Speaking of solid, number 14.
No. I will murder you in your sleep, burn
Oh
the
boy.
body, and then send
Here,
your decapitated head to your next of kin.
here we go.
I'm gonna do the silly YouTuber intro shit, whatever.
You're gonna do the Mr. Beast pose.
Mr. Beast!
Hey everyone, this is Critical.
So this PS1 situation is crazy.
Love Charlie, but yeah, that's basically what all his thumbnail titles have been.
Hello, my fellow Namekians. It is me, Red the Super Namek. It's been a little while, but we're back again with a PS1 tier list. And today, I have with me two really awesome friends of mine. First up is Cherry.
That's me. I'm Cherry.
Hell yeah. And next up is Kaz, or King Kaz, or whatever.
I ate a whole bottle of ranch today. I'm very hungry. Still.
Wow.
You were ranching for the stars there.
Alright, so it's just gonna be two of you then. Bye.
Yeah, it's gonna be them now. Alright.
Alright, so with this tier list, we're going to be doing what we did with the NES tier list, where we're just going to go from number 20 all the way up, and just being like, you know, debating on which game goes where. We don't have preset lists necessarily, just kind of going number by number. I guess we can start with number 20. Number 20. What do you guys think should go number 20?
I want to say Wild Arms strictly because I don't feel like any of us know enough about it.
I know nothing about it. I know it's an RPG, I think.
It
Well, where to begin? Wild Arms is what happens when Final Fantasy says, what if we took off the Black Mage hat and put on a fancy cowboy hat instead?
Oh. So Dawn Trail, got it.
No. It's
What?
good. I'm kidding.
is.
Careful, you're gonna get flamed for that.
Uh,
The drift of unwanted attention.
The reason nobody knows a lot about Wild Arms is the series unfortunately died on the PlayStation 2. It lasted for 5 entries, a spin-off game, a mobile game that died, and then a remake of the first game, and then it died, yeah. It was a rough spot. It never really got a good translation until the third game, which was when they switched to PS2. But it was very like traditional, like turn-based, like kind of like Mario's was, Mario RPG, and like not. I guess it's really kind of close to Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy X in that regard, honestly.
Oh.
But
See, you're saying this, and
yeah.
it makes me want to play it.
Yeah, you should totally get out there and play it. But I understand why YouTube probably put it down as the last one, because I put it up there because it was well, Dragon Quest was never really like a major thing in the US until like 8. So honestly, I think it was the first one that actually tried to take on Final Fantasy properly.
Dang.
And like I said, it did it. It did it for 5 games. So, but my number 20 was honestly Spider-Man. Because I don't know anything about this game did it come out? Like, did it come out for like the Maguire
movie?
verse?
No.
Yeah, was it a movie game? 'Cause
No.
I didn't
But it
know.
was.
It
No.
was?
I'm
No.
pretty sure it was.
No. There was a movie game on the GameCube, and I had it as a kid. But no, this is Spider-Man, just Spider-Man on the PlayStation 1 and N64.
Yeah, like I
But
don't
wasn't
know.
it based on the '90s cartoon then?
I like how we don't
Maybe.
kn-
I don't
we
know.
don't know anything about these games. Oh no.
Well, see, with Spider-Man, I've played it on the N64, and it's a fun enough game. It's nothing spectacular, because it's not spectacular Spider-Man. Did it? I mean, there's much better Spider-Man games out there. When I think of
Yeah.
PS1, I don't think of Spider-Man. I think of literally everything else on this list.
So then,
Personally, I would put Spider-Man at the bottom. Honestly.
Yeah, and I think Wild Arms is shortly after there, just because of our lack of knowledge on the subject.
Yeah, because 2 out of 3 of us haven't played it, so it's like, well, what do we even? Yeah,
Wild Arms, yeah. My
I'm
beloved
sorry.
Wild Arms is
I'm
gonna be
sorry.
down with it. No, I understand. Like I knew going into this that I was gonna be the only one fighting for Wild Arms.
So here's another one. Here's another one I haven't played. Parasite Eve.
I have seen multiple playthroughs of this game. This game is fucking stupid as shit in the best way possible. Like, the entire plot revolves around...
Mitochondria being the powerhouse of the soul.
Yeah,
in the
like...
cell.
What?
Okay, Parasite Eve. It's a game.
Okay.
Obviously,
Cool.
it is based on a Japanese novel, and it was actually like it. I actually think it was originally. I think it's actually older than FF7,
Yeah.
like in development wise. I don't think it came out before it.
It was part of the stuff that they wanted to they implemented in that game. They considered for FF7.
Yeah, like the 2 main characters, Aya, the blonde on the cover, and then she's got a buddy cop who happens to be a large black man. Can you see the similarities of where this is going in
Man,
PlayStation's
if I'm not mistaken,
games?
it takes place in New York, right?
It takes place in New York.
And wasn't that where they were planning on making Final Fantasy VII take place originally? And then they turned that into Midgar?
Yep, it was. Well, originally 7 was going to be a SNES game,
Right.
actually. But
Also,
yeah, it was.
the antagonist is also like this.
Yeah, a
weird
biological like alien lady thing. So
Yeah.
it is very clearly like a prototype FF7 that they changed into its own thing in development.
But there is also some things that that can take away from it, which is that this is kind of like Square Enix's first attempt at an action RPG, like for real.
Oh yeah, like a lot of the things you see in it, like totally like got like later implemented. I think like the battle system is in Vagrant Story too.
Oh my god.
And
But-
we all know how Square Enix action RPGs later would evolve into being what became of modern Final Fantasy.
Yeah, it's another game. The translation is very silly.
It's very fun.
It's very funny, but the soundtrack is phenomenal. I love the atmosphere and the ambience in it a lot, and I've got kind of like a weird place for my heart in it, so I'm not putting it down at the bottom. My number 19 was Gran Turismo 2.
Yeah, I don't like racing games.
I like racing games, but it's not the racing game I like.
But it's the racing game of the PlayStation.
No, that's Twisted Metal, man. Twisted Metal is...
Twisted Metal's not a racing game, though.
I consider a lot of games with cars just to be kind of similar to racing
Oh my
games.
god. I don't know. It's a very good what do you call it? Racing simulator.
I suppose it has it, like, I see why it deserves to be on here, but I think I've played it like a total of 3 times. My brother had it, and I remember never really caring for it, but then again, I grew up in a time where like Friday night was let's go to Blockbuster and rent Mario Kart and eat pizza. Like legitimately, that was the tradition back then. I was there, I did it,
I see.
but I don't have very fond memories of it, so I've tossed it at my number 19.
All right, how about you, Kaz?
Had it up slightly. I actually had it at 18 because
Oh,
I
man,
had
this hurts.
Paris-
This
I had
hurts.
Paris and Eve at like 16. Because again, same with Jerry, soft spot in my heart, but boy, is that game not aged well.
Okay, 17. So far, we have Tekken 3, Super Puzzle Fighter Turbo, Street Fighter Alpha 3, Ape Escape, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, Resident Evil 2, Final Fantasy 7, Metal Gear Solid, Parasite Eve, Mega Man Legends, Crash 2, Tony Hawk 2, Tomb Raider 2, Parappa the Rappa, Silent Hill, Spyro, and Twisted Metal 2. Which one of those games do you think should get to number 17?
I'm gonna be honest, I think strictly because you kind of just play it once and you get the full experience out of it, Parappa the Rapper. It's a great game.
It's a
But
good
it is-
game, yes.
But like, once you play through that story once, like, there's not really a reason to do it again.
Well, it's got like scores and like time
Yeah.
attacks and like rhythm attacks and stuff. Personally, I prefer the air. No, I would put Puzzle Fighter.
It feels too low.
But it's a
Well-
good game. It's a really good game.
But okay, hear me out though. If you're playing Street Fighter with your friends, you're gonna play Street Fighter, not this.
But
And if you're playing a puzzle game, you're probably gonna end up playing like Tetris or Mario, Dr. Mario, or like what is it?
Yeah.
Puyo. Yeah, Mean
is
Bean
Puyo
Machine.
Puyo even
Puyo.
on the PlayStation? I don't even know.
I think it had one. I don't remember if it was localized.
Actually, I don't even know how many puzzle games there were in general on PlayStation. That is very
But-
weird.
I don't know why it exists. Like,
I
I don't
mean-
know who looked at this and said, what if instead of fighting, M. Bison and Ryu were doing puzzle blocks instead?
And we're chippy. I feel like it was made because they wanted to give the people working on the Street Fighters like a break.
Yeah.
And it's
Well,
it's a fun game. Like, it's fantastic.
Okay, but like, here's my thing about that. Why not make it like a Capcom, and then you can put like Ryu and like Mega Man and like other more than just like Street Fighter. You know what I'm saying?
She's got a
you mean-
point, you know.
So what you're saying is Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo.
Is that a
Was it-
thing?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess. I don't know. That's just my thought process that I
Yeah,
think it
Super
would
Puzzle
be
Fighter
pretty
2
low.
Turbo had characters from Darkstalkers in it as well. So it was like kind of like a Darkstalkers and Street Fighter thing. Actually, wait, that's the one we have on here. This is that one.
Yes.
Oh,
That is Super.
well, yeah. Well, there we go. It's still like the why. Why? This is always in a game that I look at and say,
I
why
don't
do you
even think Bison
exist?
in this at all.
Well then,
Well,
Your Honor, I rest my case.
Yeah, the roster is Ryu, Chun-Li, the Ken, Sakura, Morgan, Heizuko. I think that's Dan and Felicia. No, it's some rando from Darkstalkers. But I think Dan was an unlockable character.
I mean, I guess I'm okay with putting it this low. It's still number 17. That's still pretty high in like out of all the PlayStation games ever to release.
Yeah.
Um.
I still have one that was a lot lower, but I feel like
Oh
I'm gonna
boy.
bring it up now for the next one, which
16?
no, yeah,
No,
it's
for
Tomb
number
Raider
16.
2.
Ooh.
Oh, well, what is it?
Tomb Raider.
You. Mm,
See,
It just does.
ah.
I used to have a lot of fun playing it, and I still do, but I can see why it hasn't aged very well.
Like
It
this
has a
franchise
certain
itself is also basically dead now.
no. Is it?
Yeah,
thought-
they sold.
I thought they just had-
the IP
Oh,
rights
right.
to, like that one company, and
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. And then the new game did awful. Then from what I gathered, the Netflix anime was awful.
I think it just didn't get a lot of traction.
Honestly,
Well,
I for Tomb Raider 2, yeah, I can kind of see number 16 for that.
like it's great, but like
well, I
it
mean, it
was-
must be
like,
great.
everything
It even.
Oh, wait. Parappa, and then Tomb Raider.
I'm
I
fine.
would, yeah, I can see that because, I mean, again, Parappa.
It's a
we
one and
didn't
done game.
Put it, we didn't put it on here, but it's got a sequel. It's got
I've never
two
played it. I've never
actually.
played it.
Yeah, Jammy
But-
Lammy. What was the second one? Or Parappa 2?
Jammy Lammy, Unjammy Lammy, and then there's a Parappa 2.
Hey,
I
Sony,
think
you
it-
should bring back Parappa the Rapper as like an
I
actual
think
game.
there is. Yeah, Parappa 2. It's like the one where he's working at a fast food or something food related. Where they're like all trying to make them eat noodles or something.
Parappa, this is where my parents died. This is where your parents died.
Parappa is a clear excuse of a game that at least mechanically got better with every entry. But like, see, I remember. See, there's like this. I never had it. I played it. My experience with Parappa came from that.
The
None
demo
of you,
disc?
neither the demo disc that had like it, and had like Legend of Dragoon for like an hour of Legend of Dragoon gameplay on it
Mm.
from like Pizza Hut.
I had some of those demo discs,
But yeah, that was my experience, and like he's in Unjammy Lammy. Like you can unlock him and play through her entire game as Parappa. But again, I feel like Parappa is wasted potential. Like he was brought in so early to the life that he never got to truly thrive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or maybe he was brought in, but he wasn't brought in early enough.
I don't know. His game was fine. It was a one and done. They could have done more with him, but like they just kind of dropped the ball with it.
I feel like that in all actuality, there is an alternate universe where he is the PlayStation mascot.
instead of Kratos.
I don't really think it's Kratos either, but we'll get into that as we get further.
Yeah,
I'm fine with him being below Tomb Raider and then Tomb Raider being right after. I get it. I'm not gonna go like down swinging for Parappa as much as I have like some nostalgia for him. More than I have for her actually, but moving on.
Speaking of solid, number 14.
No. I will fucking murder you in your sleep.
Oh boy.
And then send
Yep.
your decapitated head to your next of kin.
Here we go.
I was kidding. I was trying to get a reaction out of him. Hell yeah.
Darn.
Number 14. For some reason, my brain goes
I feel like
between
this is where
Twisted
we
Metal
compare
2.
I feel like this is where we put Parasite Eve.
I don't know. Twisted Metal 2, Ape Escape, or Crash 2, honestly. No, Spyro 2.
Is that the second Spyro, or is it just the first?
That's
I can't remember.
Spyro 2.
Spyro.
Isn't that Spyro 2?
No, I think it's the first one.
Yeah,
Ripto's
No, that-
Revenge?
Oh yeah, there is a 2 behind the Spyro. I see it. It's so small, it's hard for me
I
to
know.
see. Well, we've kind of gotten like a little off track. I gotta like readjust my list a little bit.
I think this is where Parasite Eve goes.
I don't have
still
a horse in that race. I've never played it, but it
Eve.
sounds very
I
good.
still have Eve in the next half, honestly. But
I would say.
After all the ones let me see. I gotta look at your list. Hold on.
Yep.
I gotta like readjust myself here.
Personally, I would say Ape Escape, Spyro 2, or Twisted Metal.
Gran Turismo. I know. I'm sorry. I'm being so unprofessional.
No, it's all good.
Puzzle Fighter.
I think Ape Escape needs to go a little bit higher than what we're currently giving it.
Alright.
What it is.
So after Tomb Raider, based on your list,
Yep.
I can feel his blood vessel gonna pop from this. I think Alpha 3. I like Street Fighter. I remember, like, everybody loved Marvel versus Capcom 2 and all that, but I remember Street Fighter in particular was in kind of like a rough spot in life until like 4.
Yeah.
Between 3 and 4, the EX series was not doing great.
The EX, I don't even, like I said, I don't remember anybody, like, I want to play Alpha 3. Like, I remember people still, like, going and just, like, pulling out the Super Nintendo and just firing up 2.
I mean, I do really like Alpha 3, but, like, I see what you mean.
If I am having to pick an old, like, 2D sprite Street Fighter, I'm picking Third Strike.
Yes, of course.
Alpha 3 is great because it, like, kind of sets up what 3 would become a lot more than 2. Because, like, without Alpha, you jump from 2 to 3 and you're like, oh my god! Holy shit, what the fuck happened?
Right.
Without that little transitional period of Alpha, and for that it is great, being basically the first Street Fighter game in the whole timeline. And it does introduce some fan-favorite characters, more so than 3, but yeah, I mean, I don't think it's far from the best game. That's still Tekken 3 on the PS1.
Well, yeah. Yeah, no, you've made your argument. Yeah, Third Strike, or
yeah,
not Third Strike, Alpha 3. Yeah.
I am a fighting game player at heart, so like it always was going to go higher on my list. But like seeing it that way, it's like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Number 13. I'm
You
gonna
know
say
what?
it again.
I will compromise and I will put Parasite Eve here.
I was gonna say, there's no way Parasite Eve can crack the top 10. I love it as well. It is also probably home to one of the funniest moments of a Let's Play ever. Which...
Are we talking about Arcane Hearts?
Yes, we are! For context, back when the Super Best Friends were a Let's Play thing, they were playing through this game, and Arcana Heart is a fighting game full of a cast full of lollies that they played on another thing. And one of the person who owned the PS3 that they were playing Parasite Eve on got into it and wanted to play it casually, so he started downloading it while they were recording Parasite Eve. And the pop-up notification of it finishing download was in the middle of the recording, and they both popped off laughing.
Hell yeah!
It
I think
is-
you showed me that before. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
It's so when I mentioned it. I mentioned it before in the group chat here. It's
Yeah.
just like so like wait what?
Oh, I'm so glad that we knew. All
Oh,
right.
it's great.
Number 12 then. I'm gonna keep saying Ape Escape and or Twisted Metal 2.
I want to say this. I think Ape Escape deserves number 11. Oh, at least, or at most, because well, like without Ape Escape,
Oh boy.
none
Here we
of
go.
us would know how to.
Here
use
we
it.
go. Here we go.
I'm not kidding. Like Ape Escape.
No, I get it. But like the game itself, it's like, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, the sequel and 2 and 3 are way better than the first one. In fact, Ape Escape 3 is probably in my top 10 favorite PS2 games of all time. But I
Right.
would rather play Ape Escape than Twisted Metal.
Sure.
You know what? I'm going to concede on this one. I had a different game, and I actually had Twisted Metal in the top 10 for me.
I'm waiting for a but.
See, Twisted Metal 2, I think, was honestly as weird as this. I don't know how familiar everybody else is with the series, honestly.
Not very.
I think it peaked at 2.
Same here. Yeah, I agree. Like, Twisted Metal Black was not it. It was
Twisted Metal, it wasn't quite in a Tomb Raider situation. Like, remember Tomb Raider? Where it, like, reached a point where they were, like, it felt like they were cranking her out, like, every year.
Yeah, Twisted Metal felt more like special.
Yeah, but it wasn't, it was, like, every other year.
It was like a
Like, oh,
Final
man,
Fantasy
the
at the
newest
time.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. Are you kidding? Are you? No.
What?
No, that's dumb.
if
it's
we count-
not.
yeah, if
Twisted
we
Metal
count-
is never.
No, I meant in release schedule wise.
Oh yeah, if you count spin-offs, there was like a new Final Fantasy thing coming out every year.
I would.
What's like every 2
even
years.
for the most part, even at some of their worst, I still enjoy Final Fantasy more than Twisted Metal later on.
I do
Um,
agree.
But I would put it. I would put it after Eve. Honestly, in 12.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
It's a fun. It's a game that you have definitely more fun when you play with people.
And then
Uh,
Ape Escape at number 11?
11, yes.
Yeah, I'll put Ape Escape at 11. I know nothing. I'm actually amazed. The only reason I don't have Ape Escape further down is because I know people love this game.
It's
It
a
is
fun game, but like it's very repetitive. Yeah, I don't know.
And
That's why
the
I-
only
it-
reason
It's
It's so
very
much
charming.
better
It's
fight.
very charming.
It's probably the biggest tragedy of Sony closing their Japan studios because like without those, Ape Escape isn't like a thing. And there's always like people like me who are fans of Ape Escape are always like, please, I know the studio's closed, but please, Ape Escape has so much potential now. But the problem is they have moved away from Ape Escape being their sort of tech demo-y thing to now it's Astrobot. Which Astrobot is kind of like nowadays captures the same like feel of Ape Escape, but it's not Ape Escape.
Right.
If that makes sense. Like
No,
I'll
I
still
getcha.
play it and have the same amount of enjoyment, but I will like Ape Escape is like it's special. And it's also special because of like I think it was like kind of the bridge. So in 3 there is a crossover with Metal Gear, and like in Metal Gear Solid 3 there was the crossover with it, Snake versus Monkey, and none of it makes any fucking sense. But that kind of shows you like that you can just kind of throw the Ape Escape characters into whatever, and it's fun as hell. Like, those monkeys are funny as fuck.
The only thing I remember about the game is the guy. I think he's like the doctor is Colonel Campbell.
Yeah, actually, in the I think in 2, Ash and Misty are the protagonist and your tech support, respectively.
And he hands you the punching glove, and he tells you it's really powerful.
Yep. Yeah, no, Ape Escape is the goofiest shit. Like, it genuinely is. I hope one day they release like a compilation of the first 3 games.
Oh yeah,
And,
yeah,
like-
that'd be awesome.
Oh yeah, because I really just want to play Ape Escape 3. Because Ape Escape 3 gets crazy with it. You can, like, they say, how do we mix up the gameplay? Because we've already done Ape Escape 2 to introduce PS2 players how DualShock works. And somebody in the room literally stood up and said, what if we made them Power Rangers? Like, what if they did Henshin and turned into various, like, Kamen Rider and Power Ranger tropes? It's fucking awesome. It's so stupid.
Hell yeah. This is our 20 to 11 list so far of the PS1 games. We don't have enough time today to do number 10 through 1, but tune in next week for the thrilling conclusion to Read the Super Namek's top 20 PS1 tier list. Boom, explosions everywhere. Yeah. I'm sure I'm gonna add some post effects. Yep. I'm not gonna forget about that.
Brother, this guy stinks!
Yep. You're right. Anyways, so yeah. I've been Red the Super Namek. And I'm
I'm
signing out.
Cherry.